Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Okay. You get ready your student and parent handbook. Remember, you have to take notes throughout the process. Today's program is divided into 3 parts. The first part is, as you see, the introduction of the annual plan or the 3-year school development plan. Okay? Ms. Ding and me will be responsible for the first part. First of all, do you know what are the school major concerns in this school year? Anybody know? Do you want any tips, any hints? We have 2 school major concerns starting from last school year. Maybe for Form 1 students, you do not familiarize with the 2 school major concerns. How about Form 2 and Form 3 students? Do you remember? Again, Jasmine, do you know? Do you know? Any idea? Oh, no idea. Okay, so you can find the answer from and parent handbook. Do you know? Just the first few pages. You can find the school major concern, and it's taken from the last school year, the student handbook. Okay? The 2, enhancing learning and teaching effectiveness, and building learning communities. Okay? And this is for the new 3-year cycle, starting from last school year. And for this school year, for the annual plan, okay, you have the school, the student handbook, and you know it's still the 2 school major concerns. However, the tasks, the programs, what you are going to do may be a little bit different. So, Ms. Ding, the head of Academic Affairs Committee, will going to introduce to you what is the first school major concern, building learning communities. Ms. Ding, please. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone, and thank you Mr. Yu. And it's my turn to introduce the first major concern to all of you, which is to build a learning community. And of course, we think that to build a learning community is not only important for students, but also for teachers. Therefore, we will divide it into 2 parts. The first one, I would like to recap what happened in the last academic year, how can we build a learning community for teachers and students. First of all, for students, maybe for Form 1 students, it will be very new to you. But for Form 2 and Form 3 students, you may find that, I also hope that you adapted to do so. That is, at the beginning of the year, we would like you to have a concept in your mind, which is about PIE, planning, implementation, as well as evaluation. How can you do so, or how can school help you to do so? Of course, at the beginning of the year, your class teachers will ask you to do a goal setting. And during the middle of the year, as well as at the end of the year, we will have a reflective storytelling day. In the last year, on the reflective storytelling day, at the end of that section, all the students have selected the top 20 most welcome good practices, which are also printed in your handbook so that you can have your review on that. But today here, I only capture the top 10. And you can see I have changed the position of the 3rd one and the 4th one so that I can group them into different categories. And I can see that in the last year, most of our students believe that attitude is very important, so that they rank those 3 in the high position. They are all about how can you do to improve your attitude. And then the rest of them are talking about what you can do. How can you take the action, okay, to improve, for example, your time management, to release your pressure, etc. So here I would like to mention or emphasize that all the students here, or maybe in the last year, we truly believe that attitude is very important, and also it laid down the foundation of building your knowledge as well as your skills. Without a correct attitude or a positive attitude, we believe the knowledge and the skills will be easily knocked down by the adversity or maybe by different challenges, okay? And on the other hand, we also would like to look for some high achievers, high flyers. We would like to group them together and help them to form a platform so that they can do their sharing with their peers, teachers, and also our renowned alumni, so that we hope which can give them a much clear goal for their personal development, for their career development, or maybe for their academic achievement. So you can see here we have Form 6, Form 5, and Form 4 high flyer scheme. And today in the school hall now, I hope that one of the goals that you have set for the Form 3 students is to be selected to join the high flyer scheme, okay? And in this scheme, we also can identify that a lot of students, they have the good open exam result. Actually, they were selected and to join this scheme. So we hope that you can treasure this opportunity. And later on, your alumni, Justin, he will share his keys to success. And also, he was one of the high flyers in the previous years. You must learn a lot from him. And other than academic, in different opportunities, you may hear our principal, Ms. Chen, she has mentioned that the importance of the learning experience in other areas. For example, in your house committee activities, as well as student association, prefect association, etc. Even though just clubs or societies, by participating just as a member or to try to organize the activities, to join the executive committee of these clubs and societies, association, you may have different experience learned. For example, how do you solve the problem? How can you communicate with the others? So not only, do not only look at your books, notes, or just read books, but try to talk to people and to work with the others so that your personalities can build up much more properly. And on the other hand, for teachers, we know that or we understand that only when teachers grow, then their students can grow. So school also has provided a lot of opportunities for our teachers to develop. Just like last year, we have organized many different platforms as well as opportunities, sharings for the teachers, not only for our schools only, but also we try to have the sharing with the teachers from the other schools. So you can see for our school, for example, all right, this is just one of an examples. We will group the teachers based on their key learning areas. That means different subjects, but with similarities. They will sit together and then to discuss their maybe difficulties they are facing, or maybe have good practices to be shared among the teachers. And also, we have invited the support team from the CUHK, as well as some of our partnering schools. They will come to our school to have the peer observation. So maybe for Form 2 and Form 3 students, you must experience that in the last year, you have a lot of occasions that you can see different teachers, they come to your school and then they observe your lessons. But no worry, all right? They are not only observing you, but also the teaching strategies by the teachers. And in the last year, we also organized the Staff Development Day. Actually, it is organized by the CUHK, but over 15 secondary schools teachers, they came to Mensang College. They have the seminar here, and also they have different workshops in different classrooms and different teaching strategies or the trend for the educational development have been introduced in this Staff Development Day. So these are all the opportunities for the teachers. They have their professional development. And these are the partnering schools that we have in the last 2 years. in the year of 2013 and 14, we came to those schools to visit their class and to discuss with the teachers in these secondary schools. And last year, they came to Mensang College. So we hope that by building up this partnering relationship, both teachers of both schools, they can develop themselves. And also we have the guest speaker from CUHK, the support team. They came to our school and to share with us how can we better cater the learning diversities of the students, as the learning diversity range is much more larger in the school, all right? So we hope that the teachers can equip themselves. So at the end, we can conduct a better class, a better lesson. So I hope that these are just what we have done at the back of the school or at the back of the classroom. And now I will pass the mic to Mr. Yu to tell you what you will see and what will happen in your classroom.
Thank you, Ms. Ding. Time is running out, so I will try to finish my part as soon as possible. For the second part, you will be enhancing learning and teaching effectiveness. Actually, you do not need to copy every word because some strategies have been stated in your student handbook. Okay, first of all, one of the strategies will be catering for learner diversity. And as you know, nobody in this hall will be identical. So we have different learning styles, different learning needs. So as we know, one size does not fit all, like your shoes. Your shoe does not suit the other boy or other girls in your class. Okay, so how can we cope with the learner diversity? So as you know, we have different strategies, and I will introduce them one by one. The first one is differentiated instruction. So it appears in the classroom. There is, at least you know, teachers may use different strategies, not only direct instruction, maybe group work, maybe project work, maybe discussion forum, so that students can learn well. Secondly, teachers will also assess your performance to see which learning or teaching styles will suit the class. Secondly, it should be graded assignment or tier assignment. So for the exercise, there will be different types, different level of difficulties. Some may be suitable for higher ability students. Some may be better for lower ability students. Say, for example, we can break down a question into different steps so that some students can at least to complete the core part. However, there may be also challenging questions, maybe in Chinese saying, 辣椒題. There will be difficult questions, and it seems to be more challenging for the class. Okay, another strategy will be in the acronym known as HOT, higher order thinking questions. So maybe in primary section, in primary school, usually the questions will be only the factual recall. Yesterday, as our principal, Ms. Chen, has mentioned, when he asked a small boy, okay, his answer is out of the expectation. Do you remember? It's not only the factual, the hard fact, but also he can be very creative to give the answer. So it also exercises your creativity. Okay? So maybe you also heard of the Socratic questions that pop for different perspectives. And I think that this kind of questions is especially essential for the humanities subjects like history, geography, as well as liberal studies. So, as you know, for these subjects is of higher order thinking questions, and the proportion will be greater. Do you recognize the face of your big brother? Okay, he's our guest today. Actually, I'm going to introduce e-learning. This year, we introduced a new platform, the Moodle platform. And this is one of the e-learning platforms. Moodle will be going to implement in Form 3 level mainly, and at least ICT, right, and computer, and as well as BAE will be going to make use of the Moodle to extend your learning time and also cater for learner diversity. In liberal studies, I know that Google Document. Google Document is also a popular e-learning platform. So you're going to know more in classroom learning. Okay, another strategy will be use of assessment data. So as you know, why do you need to do the assignment? Classwork or the homework? We collectively call it assessment. It's not only assessment for test, quiz, or examination. So through this assessment, teachers will know the difficult point. So it's something like, again, in the yesterday talk, do you remember? He's mentioned a man using the wrong lipstick. So the assessment is something like the mirror. So another similar analogy will be the student evaluation of learning and teaching. So for Form 2 and Form 3 students, you will remember this survey. And through this survey, it can also give feedback to the teachers. How teachers learn, how students learn, and how well teachers teach. Okay, lastly, effective study skills. So as you know, in 2014 and 2015, we introduced Form 1 Bridging Program. And one part will be related to learning skills. And this is still be useful because through the keywords, the signaling words, you are able to save time to take note. This year, we have in the second cycle, we are going to have 3 double periods in the 3 subjects. Okay, for Form 1 and Form 2 students. It's related to note processing skills. And what is it? So as you'll find, right, we have 3 double period highlighted. And for some classes, there may be swapping of lessons. Your class teachers will let you know more of the details later. Okay, Form 1 and then Form 2. So remember, one example is you can make use of your student handbook to take notes and make wise use of the spacing. Okay, so how can you organize your key points? Just a few hints. You have to reflect during the process or at the end of the process. What have you learned? And think about yourself. What do you want to learn more? So the second question is more important. You are going to know how to ask questions. 求學問，先學問. So you have to know what questions you want to ask. So it's also related to your active listening. Pay attention to the key point. Pay attention to some points you don't know well yet. For Form 3 students, we have also another assembly, and to introduce this, note-taking, from note-taking to note-making. And the purpose is, at the end, it's not only record, but it can help you in revision. So your notebook is only useful for yourself. So remember, hard working is not our purpose. You have to learn it wisely, smartly. So remember, nothing is impossible. So at least, do you still remember what are the 2 major concerns? And what can you do? So this is the end of my presentation, and this is my advertisement. So I want to make use of this chance to introduce to you, okay, the Life-Wide Learning Fund. Actually, every student, if you have financial difficulties, you can make use of this funding to apply for the subsidies for any CCA activities, co-curricular activities, clubs and societies, including study trip. Okay? So remember 2 tips. Apply before the deadline, and secondly, remember, keep the official receipt. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. And before I introduce our guest speaker for the second part, I will going to have a souvenir presentation. Thank you. So may I introduce our guest speaker? Just mentioned before, Justin Chow. He's one of the best scorer in 2015 HK DSE exam. Remember, he got 5 double star and 2 5-star. Mr. Chow, please. Okay, so now may I pass the mic to Justin Chow.
Testing. Good morning, principals, vice principals, teachers, and fellows. My name is Justin Chow, and it is my privilege today to stand here and give all of you a sharing. So, firstly, I would like to talk about how I study. And let's see. So, before study period, which means it's normal school days for all these years. And you can see notes during lessons, pay attention in class, and do homework yourself. These are very basic, very typical and ordinary. Nothing special about that. But this is what I value, what I think is important, the basic things that build up your foundations. I think it is a foundation, a good foundation allows you to learn quickly and to learn the advanced knowledge in a much easier way. So it's important to have your daily revision or pay attention in class. They're just that easy as long as you stick to the list. And there are some tips for your revision. And in notes and textbooks, I always highlight the key points or key concepts of each chapter, and I make small conclusion about them, like maybe I draw mind maps, or I just try to link them together and find out the relationship between different chapters. And it helps me to learn and helps me to revise quickly, because you know the relationship, you know the whole picture. And besides, I love to study the answer keys of quizzes and tests, because that is where always the main points are notes, and you can find them out through the answer keys. Another thing is I look at my mistakes in the quiz or test. And this is very important because repeating the same mistake is a mistake, and it will only hinder your process if you do not learn from your mistakes. Like I said, repeating your mistake is a mistake. Also, in my revision, I need to have an ideal environment. It can be a quiet or a place without much distraction. It can be your home, the school, classroom, library, any place you think that can help you to study seriously and focus on your work. The second thing is the balance between work and rest. Rest is very important because resting allows you to restore your energy so that you can work again. But of course, not only for your work, but having a good condition and energy helps you learn better or do any other things in a much faster and effective way. Sleeping is one of my favorite acts, and usually I get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and I just need to sleep enough before I can start to work, because I will feel very sleepy if I do not, and I cannot really study at all if I'm sleepy. So because I'm focused on qualitative study more than the quantity, I think quality is more important than the quantity if it is talking about studying. And you can spend hours reading the same chapter, but if you are not in a good condition, you will learn nothing. Another way to learn is to ask questions. Ask questions when you are unclear. You can ask your teachers, ask your classmates, and they will help you, of course. And it is important to clear your concepts before you go on to the next lessons, because many of the chapters are interrelated, and you need to understand the previous foundations, concepts, before you can get ahead. Another thing is, you can see learning by asking and teaching. For teaching, I'm talking about for those who have the ability to help your classmates, to teach them. Please grab hold of the chance to teach them. This is not only for their good, but for your own good. From this learning pyramid, you can see the one who teach others actually retain 90% of what they learned. And so when you teach your classmates or help them, you actually get more benefits than them. So it's a double win situation, and if you have the ability and someone approaches you, please help them. And actually, during my study period, which is before my DSE examinations, seems quite far for you now, but just remember one thing, plan a timetable, because you will have much time, like months and more than a month during a study period, and you need to plan your time well, like how much you need to study or evenly study each subject. This is important for you during a study period. So, after talking about me, it's time for the main point. How should you study? And it is, I don't know. And I mean it, though this is your reaction probably. What I mean is, everyone has their own way to study. And I cannot tell you what way is the best for you. And you need to find it out yourself. It could be by reading, by audio, by writing, by drawing and mind maps, anything. You need to try and you need to find out which direction or which way is the best for you. And how do you know if that method is good for you? If you can have a good long-term memory after you use that method. Of course, long-term memory requires you to repeat again and again. So you may need more time to do experiments on it. And cost effectiveness, I'm talking about the time cost. The less time you use to get the same result means that's a better method. So some of you may remember Charles and Anson, who came last year and 2 years ago, gave us the A, B, C, D, E, F of success. And this year I'm going to give you the GHI of success. So first, G. So G stands for give it your best shot. So you may say, it's not a noun, it's more than one word, I failed. I know, but there could be words that I can use that start with G, that goes, grit, but I chose to use give it your best shot, because this is what I really want to tell you. And this is the definition, in case anyone do not know that, to do something as well as you possibly can, although you're not sure whether you will be able to succeed, which means to try your best. And why do you need to try your best? Because normally, if you try your best, you will have a better result. That's the first thing. And the second thing is about the attitude. And attitude is something I value a lot, because I think ability is sometimes related to your talents, to your gift, but your attitude is what that shows your quality. And have a good attitude if you have fulfilled if you have tried your best, you have fulfilled your responsibility. I'm a poor speaker, sorry. And if you have a good attitude, you're already the winner, regardless of your results. Just try your best and don't feel regret if you won't feel regret if you have tried your best. And a few things for those who think they don't have their talents on exams. Please do try your best still. At the moment, the DSE exams result can be the tickets to your university, which means more choice for you in later. And just try your best now and try to get in the university. You will have more choice to choose what you really want to do. So good luck on that. The winners are only those who tried their best. About this, I want to talk about you should compare to yourself before you compare to the others. Just ask yourself if you have improvement, if you are you better than last time. Beat yourself is better than beating the others. Oops. For H, oh, I spoiled it. Not this one, of course. And health, still not a joke. This is the definition of health. Complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And I'm going to talk about them separately. Physical health. I think this is quite obvious. Without physical health, you cannot do anything at all. So, just imagine if you sneeze during your exams or you fell asleep when you're revising. That is not productive at all. So you need to keep yourself in a good health condition. Have enough sleep, as I said. Yes, I really like sleeping. And avoid burning midnight oil. If you really need more time to do your projects, to study, I would recommend you to wake up early instead of staying up late. Just my opinion. For mental health, of course, it's about your stress. Oh, you can't see that. Your stress, which can lead to anxiety and depression. And a tips for you when you get into the DSE examinations, do not check the answer after your exam. I didn't check any of them, but some of my friends did, and they feel not that good after it. And stress relief. Many of you might have heard from the talks from social workers about how to relieve your stress. Can be music, can be sports, or television if you like, but don't spend too much time on relieving your stress. A little bit of stress can be a good motivation. Ask for help when you are in need. If sometimes you face too great pressure, you think you cannot handle it yourself, you need to talk to some people. Talk to your friends, talk to your classmates, talk to your family, and just a small talk will let you know that you're not alone and you have support from them, and it will make you feel better. Social health. Do not stay in the room for the whole day. I'm talking about during the study period, which is still quite far from you. But talk to people when you are busy doing something. But remember, you still need to have interaction with people, talk, and so it keeps your mind stable. Enjoy your time with family and forming study groups. And I think this is quite a good idea because in a study group, academically, they can share past papers, they can discuss difficult questions, and you will learn from each other. Also, you can get support from them, and you will know that someone is experiencing the same thing as you, with you, and you will gain the support from them, and this is a good practice. Lastly, it's I. I stands for introspection. So you may not know what introspection means. Introspection is the examination of one's own conscious thoughts and feelings, which is something similar to a reflection on yourself. And I love talking to myself, and some people consider that a bit crazy, but I really love talking to myself. I ask questions to myself, and like, what is my strength? What is my weakness? How should I improve? Am I a poor speaker? Is my speech too boring? I would ask myself these things and try to improve. And this is good for me to find out what improvement I need or understand what kind of person I am. Talking to yourself is really a good thing, and do more introspection. These are a few questions that I asked myself during my study period, and actually you don't need to follow them. Ask whatever you want to ask yourself. Just talk to yourself, you will gain benefits from it. And I'm serious about that, and it helps you think more and understand yourself more. So that is my GHI of success. Give it your best shot. Health and introspection. Lastly, a quote. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. So everyone, get started. No matter you are trying to find your way to study or try preparing for your examination ahead, get started. This is the end, and good luck. Thank you. And I will now pass the mic to Mr. Ho. Oh, we have MCs.
Thank you, Justin, for the sharing. Good morning, Principal, Vice and Assistant Principals, teachers and fellow students. I'm Stephanie from Form 6B.
I'm Cindy from Form 6F, and we are the Joint House Committees. Today, we'll be introducing to you the new House Committee election system.
For the new election system, the election in annual general meeting, AGM, will be held on the same day, and the election meetings of six houses will be organized on different days.
The election meeting of each house will be carried out altogether for different forms. Students from Form 4 to Form 5 can run for the position of House Captain and Vice House Captain. There will be no quota for the number of candidates.
The candidate with the highest vote will become the House Captain, and the one with the second highest vote will become the Vice House Captain.
The newly elected House Captain and Vice House Captain will then discuss with the House Advisor and choose the remaining 8 House Committee members.
As for the combination of House Committee members, there should be at least 3 junior form students and 3 senior form students. Number of House Committee members should be 10 in total. The school hall and chapel will be used as the election meeting venue on the 14th of September to the 16th of September after school. This is a schedule for the House Committee election.
All students who are interested in electing for the House Committee member in this academic year will have to fill in the application form online to fulfill the eligibility. As for the House Captain and Vice House Captain applicants, you are required to submit a promotion video no longer than 2 minutes at the time of application, and the video has to be uploaded to YouTube. Candidates then need to forward the link with their application form. The application should not be later than 4 p.m. on the 7th of September.
Please be reminded that all promotion items must be presented in English. Candidates can start their promotion once they submit their application. Please refer to the poster posted on the CCA bulletin board or the Facebook page of each house for further information. Should you have any queries, feel free to contact any of our Joint House Committee members or House advisors.
So if any one of you is interested to run for the House Committee members in this year, don't hesitate and go for it. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you.
May we now invite Mr. Moff to give us the instructions for dismissal.
Okay, this morning we have 3 short talks. The first one is about the major concern, and the second one is the success story of our alumni, Justine. And you should have learned a lot from them. Now, I want you to do one thing before the dismissal. You should have your the student parent handbook with you, right? Now, open it and show it to your peer sitting next to you, what you have marked down in this school assembly. You should have learned something and marked down something, right? Remember, for every school assembly, you must have this with you, together with the hymn book and a pen with you, okay? Well, maybe our principal will ask you questions about what you learned in the school assembly regularly. Okay, it's time for the dismissal with the non-class.